Well, what a week this has been. I was almost gonna make a video and talk about death. Actually, I think I will probably later on. It's a little too soon yet for me. But just had a recent passing, double whammy. A cousin of mine died suddenly, way too early, left a pile of kids behind. And my absolute best friend in the whole world, my horse, my favorite horse, lifelong pal, partner, I had to put him down a few days ago. I'll talk about it another time, but I learned a lot. You learn a lot through death. And I will guarantee you, for anyone curious, this isn't it. It's not it. Once we die, it's not over. I'll guarantee it. But anyway, oh boy. All right, moving along. I was going to talk about an article. I heard a word about a place in Alaskan town that was apparently, I'm just going to try to find it here. An Alaskan town that was deserted. But I heard about it through somebody emailed the mention about it a while back. Port Chatham in Alaska. I gotta read the story. It's interesting. And you know what? I think, obviously I don't have the answers for every single tidbit of information comes out. We all dig. We all do our own due diligence. And I think this would be an interesting one for people, especially you people in Alaska. If you had any first-hand knowledge of what went on with this town, it sure would be cool if you could email me and share some info with me if you have any first-hand info. Because a story like this, I don't think would be too hard to vet the story and see exactly what happened. But I'm going to read a little bit right here that I just found online. And this story is basically the theme story for this town across the board, no matter which article you may find about it, right? And then I'm going to I'll read another experience that was emailed into me, okay? In an area so pristine and picturesque, it's hard to imagine that a place with such a dark and sinister history would even exist. Well, it just so happens that Port Chatham is the creepiest Alaskan town abandoned in Alaska. In fact, most people won't go near this place even if you paid them to do so. With abundant reports of Bigfoot-like sightings and a history of dead bodies washing up on shore, sometimes it's better just to leave the stones unturned. It is positively undeniable that the Kenai Peninsula is one of the most beautiful regions on the last frontier. With a seemingly unlimited amount of mountains, glaciers, wildlife, and charming small towns, there is simply so much love and so little to hate. But the old cannery town of Port Chatham, otherwise known as Portlock, is one hauntingly chilling place that we still stay far, far away from. In fact, pretty much anyone who knows anything about this place will likely agree. This tiny remote area is located on the Kenai Peninsula, most nearby to the well-known town of Homer, far outside of Kachemak Bay State Park. So what is it about this place that gives people the heebie-jeebies? It's been said by early settlers that they were driven away by supernatural causes and an unexplained evil spirit. In fact, they believed that the evil spirit, whom some claim to be a Sasquatch-like creature, was haunting their every move. This evil spirit was described as being massive, hairy, man-like creature that walked on two legs. This remote place in the middle of the ocean was first inhabited in 1787 as part of the British Royal Navy. After the first post office was established in the 1920s, it was said that the evil spirit or creature haunted the nearby mining camp of Chrome, which is abandoned today. Because this evilness was said to walk on 2 feet, that diminished the odds of it being a more predictable predator, such as a bear or wolf. Many claim that it is Bigfoot, Yeti, or Sasquatch. It is also said there are many trees throughout the area that were completely ripped out of the ground and turned upside down with the roots facing up into the air. This is thought to be more proof that whatever this evil creature was, it was too powerful for any human or village to stop. During the 1940s, the height of World War II, bodies in and around Portlock began turning up in nearby rivers, lagoons, and trails near the town. These bodies were said to be completely mutilated and essentially torn to shreds. People also began disappearing out of nowhere and never returning home for years on end. For years on end. By the 1950s, locals were sick and tired of living in fear, so they completely fled the town and left it abandoned. Years later, when hunters returned, it is said they report seeing 18-inch long human-like footprints. Pretty creepy, huh? We aren't brave enough or crazy enough to ever visit this chilling place. How about you? Would you visit and test out its theories for yourself? There's reason why people think this is one of the spookiest abandoned places in Alaska. We'll go figure. Would I be curious enough to go there and hang out? You know what? I'm on the camp that listens to community myself. So if you have community or locals of any race telling you that bad things are going on in a certain area consistently and bodies are getting mutilated, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you if you want to go there and camp out and find it for yourself. But I like to trust people more than I don't. So would I go there? I'd go there and have a look around. Would I offer up my ass solo and go dive into the woods and camp out for a week just to see if I'm going to get shredded up to pieces? Probably not. I'm not that stupid. But it is an interesting story. And the reason I actually look into it and read it here today is because it's a very, very common one. And I haven't heard anything much different for the excuse that that town was deserted. So that's pretty interesting, right? Maybe, hopefully some of you Alaskans, I know you're watching, if you have any firsthand knowledge of yourself or friends hunting or fishing there and having firsthand experiences, you should email it up to me and share it with me. And I wouldn't mind looking into this story of this town. It's pretty interesting, and it seems to be very, very well known, you know, which is something else, not too common. But anyway, I think I have a story here from Alaska to share. Nothing wrong getting a horse in the shot, is there? Especially mine. But alright, I can't find the Alaskan story in here. I've got so many stories in my notes in this phone, it's absolutely ridiculous. I've been a little all over the map lately, and I just don't have the patience to dig for it. But I do have one that just came in recent that I want to share with all you guys, and I want to touch on a couple items when it comes to photographs. Alright? I get photographs probably every single day. Usually every single day, maybe every couple days anyway. But I get so many photographs, it's crazy. But one thing, and I think you'll all agree, is when people take a picture of something in the distance that looks like it's something unknown, whatever, and they say it was huge, the amount of people that don't go there later and put somebody exactly where that object was in their photo and then take another picture is off the chart. It's crazy how many people skip out on that. What I would say should be your first common sense move. You get a picture of something and claim it might have been 8 or 9 or 10 feet tall or whatever, and you get a photograph of that thing. Well, go back there later, bring somebody with you and stand them up right there and go back to where the picture was taken and recreate the scene, right? And you wouldn't believe, I think you'll probably agree too, if you look at videos, if you watch your videos, how many times have you seen somebody that's made a video in the wintertime in the snow of something going ripping across the backyard? Or I think there's some trapper in Alberta that keeps on getting videos of these things standing there in broad daylight in the snow. But they never ever put themselves where the subject was, take a photo or videotape later, and they never ever show the tracks where the thing was standing. I don't get it myself. That should be your go-to move. Anybody, I would. Actually, I'm going to do that pretty quick. That thing that was standing in the trees looking at us last fall up the Squamish Valley. I haven't had a chance to get down there. I got to go all the way down valley, almost to the ocean, hook right and head up back the next valley over. It's right over the top of Title Land where I am right now, to the west. And we're going to go up there and set up the camera exactly where it was, and I'm going to stand exactly where I was in that clip and see what is missing in those trees back and behind me. I'm kind of hoping whatever it was that looks like that two-eyed, one-nose, clear, perfect, clear face and chest down in the trees looking at me, I'm kind of hoping it is still there and it wasn't anything, but I don't know, who knows? Out of curiosity, might as well go check it out anyway, right? So this was a short story. I'm going to share the photographs with you at the end of it, and then you guys can shred them apart. But it's just pictures. just another picture of something in the background that you can't tell what it is. And it could be interesting, it might not be to some, but it's right here in my hand, so here we go, all right? Well, Steve, I've been watching your videos since before you started talking about the big hairy fellas. Had a couple of photos that I thought might interest you and the accompanying backstory. I didn't take the photos, it was a friend of my brother's. This guy's a keen fisherman and hunter. He was fly fishing on a tributary to a reservoir in New Jersey. He said a large rock landed near the water, and not too long after, he heard a huge splash. He looked to see a dark figure wading powerfully and very quickly across the river. He said the water it crossed was deep, and it made no sense for a man to be doing that in that location. He estimated that this person thing would need to have been at least 8 feet tall to cross the river in the manner he witnessed. Anyway, he was spooked by the situation and packed up and left. He got the idea to drive up onto a fire road that was in the general direction of where the figure headed. The resulting photos are what he snapped from the window of his truck. He said this individual was huge, and the whole thing was pretty frightening. He believes this was a Sasquatch. My brother says this guy is not a BSer. Just thought I'd send you these pics and the quick email. Keep it real and God bless, sir. And there they are. And here's the pictures. And here's the pictures here. So obviously by the time I get back and edit this up, I'll zoom in on the pictures and slap them up. But same old. It's something. It's definitely something. And you can tell he's driving. You see by the out of focus ground in the photograph that he was driving along, and he snapped his picture. But I'm sure you're listening because he just freshly emailed me this. And if you get a chance, just go with your buddy and go recreate that shot and put one of you standing where that thing was. And it'll be interesting to see anyway, right? Obviously, it's not going to prove anything. Obviously, it's just another picture, whatever. But just for you guys' sake and people who may be curious, go back there and set yourself up in the same truck, same angle. It looks like it's hardwoods. There might be a bunch of green leaves by now. You never know. But anyway, go have a go and recreate that photograph with somebody standing behind that very tree in the same pose in both those shots. And email them back, and we'll share them. But anyway, but that's it for now. I'm going to take off for a few days. Losing my horse is a pretty tough one. It's really hard. It's really hard. And I'm sure as many of you know exactly what it feels like, especially when they're not really quite a pet. They're more of a true partner in life, which he was for me. So but anyway, there you go. There's another one. I don't know how many of these things I actually do. I mean, be honest, I can't wait to get back hunting. Can't wait. I really can't wait. I can't wait to get back out there, get remote, and do what I love to do and do what I'm good at, and make as many outdoor adventure videos as I can while I'm doing it. So that is definitely on my mind nonstop. It's easy to read these emails and share them with you guys. They don't stop coming in, and it's not really frustrating, but it's not something I have to do. But how do I describe how I feel about this? When you know how much courage it took for somebody to finally get up the courage and email me their experience, I mean, it's hard. I mean, how do you just turn your back on them and not share it? It's hard. I feel like an ass enough. I can't reply back to everybody, but when somebody needs a voice and they need some support and they want to be heard and not laughed at and get something off their chest, how do you ignore that? How do you decide who gets ignored and who doesn't get the support they deserve? So I guess I'll keep doing it.